As someone who has been vegan for 9 years and has traveled to over 20 countries, I've had my share of delicious, unforgettable meals across the entire world. But today I wanted to go through my favorite food cities in the world for vegans, narrowing it down to my top 5 food cities I've ever visited. First, let's start off with some honorable mentions. Koh Phangan Island in Thailand, because I love Thai cuisine. It's definitely one of my favorites in the entire world, and I'm sure many people agree with me. There was not one place I visited in Thailand that for sure stood above as being like a top food city in the world. I did not go to Chiang Mai. Maybe that's the place that's like the mecca for vegans, but I had delicious food in Bangkok, Koh Samui, Krabi, but Koh Phangan definitely seemed to have like the best all-around vegan scene. I had many different delicious foods in the Koh Phangan food court, which included many vegan options, some being international, Western food, and Asian Thai cuisine as well. I also had some delicious Thai food at this restaurant up in the north, and it was delicious, like pad Thai, and a really aesthetic, beautiful restaurant as well. I had some delicious local dishes in a hole in the wall, just driving back on a scooter from doing some stuff on the island. And they have a night market as well that you can visit, which has some vegan food options as well. And they have really good vegan pizza at some beach club in the west of Koh Phangan, and many more options I didn't check out. So Koh Phangan, you didn't quite make the list, but you have some delicious food for vegans for sure. Next is Lima, Peru, which is known to be one of the ultimate food cities in the world, but it had great vegan options as well. Maybe this is just because I didn't spend as much time in Lima as I would have liked. I spent maybe 2 or 3 days here, had some really delicious local Peruvian cuisine, which was really flavorful and delicious, but they definitely felt a little bit spread out. You had to look a little bit more and plan on eating vegan cuisine in particular to make it through Lima in my own experience, but the food I did eat here was incredible. Kyoto, Japan was surprisingly an amazing vegan food city as well. There's a large density of vegan options in the main touristy areas, and so if you want to sightsee and eat some delicious Japanese food, also some international kind of cuisine and dishes as well, it's very possible with a wide variety of, mixture of some naughty stuff, some clean and healthy stuff as well, for good prices. So Kyoto has really good abundance of vegan options for sure. Taipei, Taiwan is commonly thought to be the most vegan-friendly big city in Asia, and I could definitely see why people would say that, because first of all, the convenience stores like the 7-Elevens have an amazing selection. You can get oat milk tea right at the counter of the 7-Elevens. You go in the prepared food sections, you can try some satay vegan shrimp, which is freaking delicious, vegan chicken nuggets, vegan little bao and other local little goods and stuff. There's so many things I could take and make a massive feast for a really good price at these 7-Elevens. They had eating areas. It was so freaking delicious. But besides just convenience store food, the restaurants were incredibly good. We had some amazing dim sum at a vegetarian and mostly vegan dim sum restaurant as well, which was absolutely amazing. You can also find little hole in the walls serving, Chinese and Taiwanese food for a really good price with locals as well. So really fun food city. Just maybe I didn't have quite enough experience eating out at different places to put it in my top 5, but it definitely was a great experience for me traveling there as a vegan. And my last honorable mention has to be Los Angeles, LA in the USA, because this was one of my first bigger trips I went on besides studying abroad, and I was blown away by the food scene here. I was newly a vegan and I had no idea the depth, the amazing flavors, the amazing substitutes, the creativity of vegan food just in the USA as well. We had some delicious Mexican food, some delicious Asian food, some delicious gastropub or diner style food, pancakes with fried chicken with a chili sauce. So delicious, and it was just an amazing trip just in general. And if I could live in Los Angeles, I might put on a few pounds very quickly because the food here is incredible. So number 5 is actually Cusco, Peru. I mentioned Lima in my honorable mentions, but Cusco I think was an even better place for vegans. And I wasn't too familiar with Peruvian food. I heard some good things about it, but I was absolutely blown away. The vegan restaurants in Cusco are more densely populated around the San Blas neighborhood, and we were able to try various vegan versions of delicious local dishes such as ají de gallina, which kind of felt like a South American curry to me, taku taku, which is a rice and bean, kind of like patty, topped with delicious sauces and so much flavor and depth and liminess, and so good. We also tried ceviche, which is very famous, and there were many places that would make ceviche with like a local kind of like grain called choclo. It's like a very fat corn, where they would use like avocado or mushroom, although I have gotten lit up in the past for claiming that ceviche without fish is ceviche, but you know, we're not used to, or as a fellow vegan, you're probably used to this, so you know, we can still be proud and say that these dishes are delicious, even if it's not like the authentic way. But you know, a lot of these things are like steeped in history, and people are a little bit protective over their cuisine, which hopefully they let up a little bit because it was freaking delicious. And the most underrated dish, I think, is calzas reina, which is like essentially like potato sushi. I don't know how else to put it, at least like the mini calcitas, like the mini ones, but they're so delicious and creamy. They just use so many good fresh and salty and like herby flavors in Peruvian cuisine. It's my second favorite Latin American cuisine in the world, behind another that may or may not appear later on this list. You probably know what I'm hinting towards. And they have the absolute mecca for vegans in Cusco, which is Greenpoint Restaurant. It is incredible. It definitely does a good job of blending like that kind of like modern to slightly upscale vibe, while still offering traditional versions of delicious Peruvian dishes for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And they even have a bakery, which is a total, you know, naughty place to go. And there's an actual vegan vendor at the local market in Cusco as well, with this really nice lady. She makes really affordable dishes that are very tasty. They seem like humble, but very flavorful. And I loved going here and getting big portions, sitting at her counter for a really affordable price, like Southeast Asian prices. So Cusco, great place for vegans. I lived here for a month, or traveled here for a month actually, and yeah, the options were incredible, truly. Number 4 is Tokyo, Japan. Tokyo itself has actually an unbelievable quantity and variety of vegan restaurants throughout the city. You will be able to try the best ramen I've had in my entire life, and I went to Japan before I was vegan actually, when I was studying abroad, and I can still remember the ramen being really good, but this ramen is just as good, and I think probably slightly better actually, that I'm talking about here in Tokyo. And there's many places with incredible ramen. You can try incredible gyoza as well, like Japanese dumplings. You can try okonomiyaki, a regional food that's like a savory pancake that's so incredible, and so many other different Japanese dishes like curry, like fried chickens, the karaage, and so much more throughout the city. Just requires a little bit of planning, but you will have no shortage of amazing, delicious Japanese foods, international cuisine as well to try in Tokyo. You can also find vegan bakeries and vegan-friendly bakeries for that matter, eat at vegan izakayas, and just have a wide variety of different culinary experiences while traveling throughout this amazing city. Number 3 is a tie. I couldn't split the two, but it's both Bali. But Bali is in a city, so I chose Ubud, Bali, and Canggu, Bali. Bali is very famous in the world for its like wellness and yoga and spirituality, and these kinds of places, I'm sure you've noticed, tend to have more vegan options, which is great because Bali definitely does, and man, they are so abundant and delicious. But the main thing you need to know is that there are many hole-in-the-wall restaurants that serve local Indonesian food at places called warungs. And at the warungs, you can try delicious local Indonesian food. Some are vegan or heavily vegan friendly for amazing prices. You just stack up your plate with delicious dishes you might not have heard of, doing the traditional nasi campur, which means like mixed plate. And there's so many incredible Balinese dishes you can find at restaurants that are vegan friendly or fully vegan. Things like Balinese curry, things like mie goreng, which is their like fried noodle dish, which is my favorite Asian fried noodle dish, I think, like in the whole world, honestly. You can try rendang, which is like a coconut curry, but even more rich and fragrant and so incredibly delicious. You can try satay with tempeh, and tempeh is actually from Indonesia, and you can buy it at the grocery stores in Bali for a really great price. And the texture, the quality, it's like nothing I've ever felt in the West. So that was just like a whole amazing experience, just even trying tempeh in Indonesia, because I love tempeh, and I think it's underused in a lot of other cuisines. So that just barely scratches the surface. And of course, you have the beautiful, like aesthetic cafes and restaurants with some international cuisine and some Western cuisine, which can be really good too. But it's the local Indonesian dishes that made me fall in love with Bali, that is Ubud and Canggu, for vegan destinations that I put on a lot of weight. I'll just say I put on a lot of weight staying in Canggu for a month because all I wanted to do was eat 3 meals a day. So if you want to do the same, no shame on you. Number 2 is actually back in my own homeland, my own home country, and it's not Los Angeles. It's not Chicago, where I actually lived for just about a year, but actually Portland, Oregon, which this might be no surprise to you. Portland is famously known as being very vegan friendly. It has like a very alternative, progressive, hip kind of culture. And again, these places tend to have lots of good vegan options. And this was the case for me when I visited. I was already a little bit more nuanced for traveling and eating good vegan food, but man, the food scene here is legendary. So it's worth the hype, honestly. I had some of the best donuts in the world at a few different places. I've had some of the best ice cream I've ever had in the world. I've had the best Detroit-style pizza, which is kind of like a focaccia pizza. And I live in Detroit, guys. I live in like the suburbs of Detroit. So I'm very familiar with delicious Detroit-style pizza, but the one in Portland, I think it's better than even like the best stuff we have here, or it's pretty close, you know, which is incredible. They also have a really unique food culture with like the food cart pods. It kind of feels like a little trailer park with a bunch of different little, not food trucks, but like food carts where you can shop around, eat around. A lot of them are very vegan friendly and eat in these little common areas. And man, the food I had at these places was ridiculously good. So I want to go back to Portland just for the food. The surrounding nature is really pretty, but the food in Portland, it's some of the best in the world for vegans. But only one or two places might be better. Which are number one, another tie in Mexico. You probably saw this coming. Between the cities of Tulum and Mexico City. Both are incredible for vegans. Mexican food, it's my favorite cuisine in the world. It's my favorite Latin American cuisine in the world, obviously. But Peruvian cuisine. And the first time I went to Tulum, my mind was blown. Totally was blown. I had good Mexican food, but I didn't know how good it could be and made authentically in the actual like home country of Mexico. And when I went to Tulum, obviously I knew it was going to be more like hipster, a little bit more like alternative, like spiritual, kind of like hippie culture. And those places like have a lot of good vegan food, but the tacos are incredible. The other Mexican dishes like tortas, also things like chilaquiles, so much more that are just absolutely amazing. And I think I ate at like 30 different restaurants here in like the month that I was being a digital nomad in Tulum, and it was incredible. Sadly, a few of the places have closed. Most of them are like densely located too in the main Tulum town, so you can like walk or do a short bike ride away, which is great. There are some others a little bit far away if you want to explore, but yeah, more are popping up, and some of my favorite food I've had in the world. I could like write essays about some of the dishes I've had in Tulum, including international food as well. They have some good like Western stuff, also some really good falafel at Green, can't remember the name, but something verde, La Hoja Verde in downtown Tulum. So anyway, Tulum and Mexico City, because Mexico City, everything I could say about Tulum, very similar, except for Mexico City is just a big city, so there's going to be some more like, you know, alternative kind of like areas, or more like hipster, more like stylish, more, sad to say, maybe westernized, or a little bit gentrified, but they do have amazing vegan options like tacos, other foods as well, not just tacos, those are just always what comes to my mind, chilaquiles, mole, so much more. I feel like a fake Mexican food fan, but anyway, I'm showing you videos and you can see just how amazing they are. And because Mexico City is so big, there are an incredible vast amount of options. There is delicious like churros and street food in both of these cities as well. So you get a wide variety of fun, different like atmospheres and like culinary experiences. But of course, in Mexico City, you'll have more of the upscale side of things too, if you're interested. Also, a friend of the channel, Jackie, she mentioned that she went to Playa del Carmen recently, and she thinks the vegan scene there is getting even better, like maybe even better than Tulum. And I did have some good food in Playa del Carmen, so I'll give it a shout out as well. But Tulum and Mexico City, for me, are the joint best food city in the entire world for vegans. So of course, for these these are just among the cities I have visited. There are many more places I would love to visit to eat delicious vegan food, and I can include even more honorable mentions like Greece. The Greek Cyclades Islands have some incredible, delicious fresh food that is very naturally vegan friendly. And in the city of Athens, I had amazing vegan food, and Santorini as well. But I could just go on and on about food. I love traveling for food. Hopefully you do as well. Are you vegan? Are there other food cities that you prefer? Are some of these your favorite vegan places in the entire world too? Let me know down in the comments below. And actually, I just finished a trip traveling around more of the rural parts of Japan, and it wasn't always super easy to figure out. So let me know if you want more of like a vegan travel guide, how I get through both the popular places and some of the ones that are more difficult to survive as a vegan traveling. And check out that series if you want to see some really fun adventures, including delicious vegan food as well. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.